see if it works. It does work. Greetings, humans. Greetings. And welcome back to another fun-filled episode. Bear here, 29-year veteran of the woods. And today, Bear is actually here in the cave here. You know, Bear kind of sometimes travels back and forth, you know, between the woods and the cave. Had a little bit of stuff going on in the woods there, so hey, let's get back to the cave. Why not? You know, you probably see your favorite YouTuber out there, you know, you just pop on, turn on the camera, turn on the microphone, and hit go. It's not that easy for Bear. He's got to, you know, sometimes set up and break down and set up again and break down. And I tell you what, I mean, you see some of the people, it's like, oh, they got the neon lights in the background or whatever. It's like, hey, come on, you don't think Bear can't do neon lights? Come on, man. Not really, because, you know, Bear's natural habitat is in the woods, you know. I mean, you humans have it very well. With being able to speak properly and opposable thumbs and not being afraid of fire. Fire! Easy for you people. Easy for you. It's hard. It's hard out here for a bear. Yes, indeed. Great to see Amy. She says, hey, is that the new Batman movie everyone is talking about? I've heard good things. I wonder from who. There we are. It's great to have Amy here. Bear was trying to figure out, Jiminy Cricket the last time was trying to tell Bear, you've got I think it's called the audience reactions. It's a little thing there on the, in the chat there that it covers over some stuff. So Bear had to take that down and test it out and see if it works. Yes, indeed. All right, let's get into it, people. We'll talk about the Flash here, Amy, in just a second, but let me get into it with some campaign updates. We don't have that many. Let me find them here. Including from Impossible Stars. Let's go ahead and jump right into it with your boy Zach. Is very brief and succinct as he possibly can be here. Where are we here? There we are. From the middle of June update, he says, hi everyone. Hiya boy! I just wanted to let you know that Impossible Stars 3, I think he means 2, is now 90% colored. It's Iron Sights 3. It's Iron Sights 3 and Impossible Stars 2. I think he may have gotten that little mixed up there. Either way, Impossible Stars, 90% colored. He says thanks. And that's from your boy Richard out here. Yes, indeed. Your boy Zach, I should say. There you go. Pretty cool stuff. Actually, kind of like the coloring on the first book a little bit better, although this isn't too bad. I think they're in maybe some sort of alien, maybe an alien ship of some kind, maybe? I don't know. Don't know out there, but looking good. Hopefully get that here pretty soon. He also had, let me find it here, from Jawbreakers. Once again, very brief here, middle of June update. Hi everyone, hiya boy! Lettering for Jawbreakers Forever in Cuffs begins next week. Runner, I believe that is the Narwhal book, will fulfill separately starting this week, people. So at least be getting one book out there. Thanks, and that's from Richard out there, so there you go. There is your Splato Comics news out there. Plus, we've actually got one from hey, Melissa, great to see you here. Great to have Melissa here. She was worried the last time. It's like, oh my goodness, I've missed out. You never missed out. Beer has the archive. In fact, I'll put it up here. Let me find it here. What are we doing? Come on, Bear. Figure it out, man. We've actually got the archive. So all of the old shows go onto the archive. So there you go. Check it out. Check it out there if you'd like. All right, let me get to it. Where am I? Come on, Bear, do the thing with the thing. Professional show. One of these days. From Graham Nolan. Melissa, actually, if you missed the show the last time, we actually did a box open of Joe Frankenstein Part 1 here. So hopefully Bear will make the box open as a separate video. Just I've got most of it done. I need to add some stuff with the audio just a little bit there. So hopefully Monday It's in HDR, and YouTube just does whatever it decides to do on that. So we'll see. Anywho, Joe Frankenstein, Part 1. The CGC update. Hello, Franken fans. Well, hello, Graham. Just a quick update. Julie is making great progress on shipping out the single issues and the Double Trouble perks. That's what it was called. Double Trouble perks. Bear got his, so thank you, Julie. If you haven't gotten your tracking number, you should have one by next week. I'm pulling and signing the CGC books. When that is complete, they'll be sent to Chuck to sign, and he will personally, Chuck Dixon will deliver them to the CGC offices. How long they'll take to grade and slab is anyone's guess, but they're very good about these things. And I'm sure he says, thanks all, from Graham. Beer is just adding that in there. Just adding that in. So there you go. If you want to check it out, the last video there, but Beer was shooting that in HDR, so it's going to look a little bit dark on the live show. But man, oh man, does it look really good in HDR. Can't wait to get that one up for you good people out there. You good one. You good one. You know, Bear, sometimes he's like, it looks okay, it does alright, I think we've got the point across, and other times it's like, hey man, this is going to be a really good video, so hopefully that one will turn out to be pretty good. Amy says, maybe if you've got some neon lights for the woods, some of the other professional shows would just professional show stuff would just fall into place. One would only wish. One would only wish. There must be a reason so many people have them. They aren't bright enough to work by. No, it's just decorative. Bear actually has that. He can put up neon lights. It's not that big of a deal. Not that hard at all. But, no, want to keep the El Natural look. But no, we're in the cave here today. Multitude of reasons. Sometimes Beer, he just gets chased out of the woods, people. Chased out of the woods. Well, speaking of being chased, let's go ahead and get right on into it. Kind of the big news. We've been, man oh man, we have been talking about this one for quite a while out here. Man, when Beer first heard about it, it was like, oh god, are they actually going to make the Flash movie with Ezra Miller? Noted, woman assaulter, noted, a potential groomer, noted, automatic weapons enthusiast on your, upstate Virginia, or no, Vermont pot farm? Why not just go ahead and cancel it like Batgirl, or just reshoot it with a completely different actor? I bet you Warner Brothers is wondering why they didn't do that either. You need to listen to Bear, people. You need to listen to Bear. Which apparently it has become like the a pre-show for some of these shows out there. For like the past 2 or 3 weeks, Bear doesn't even watch Yellow Flash out there. Just happened to tune in the past 2 weeks. It's like, I literally just said that 2 hours ago. What are you doing, man? You can find out more here on Bear's channel in 1 hour than you can find in 3 hours on Yellow Flash. Anywho, that is a side thing. Not to stir up any trouble out there. From our folks out here at Deadline. Let's see, who is this? Anthony D'Alessandro. He says, The Flash loses speed with $60 million 3-day opening. Here's why. They always have to have the explainer. I mean, you morons out there. Here's why it's doing that, you dummies. Actually, because I think they came out, when was this? This was the 16th, so yesterday. It's gonna go to $72 million. Oh, glory be. Well, no, actually, it turned out to be 60 million or so. And they're trying to do the funky thing here with this is another thing. They try to sneak this past people. You're trying to get information. They're just sneaking stuff past. They're doing the 4-day. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Most of the time, you wouldn't count Monday. Apparently, Monday, June 19th, is Juneteenth. So they're counting it as a 4-day opening weekend. So, okay, sure, why not? So anyways, They missed on their estimates, and they included an extra day in there, and they're totally wrong out there. We'll find out. We'll find out why. We'll find out why out here. Amy says, you mean people don't want to see a movie starring rather a kidnapper? Who would have guessed? Well, maybe unless the movie was about a kidnapper, that might have been interesting. Even Batman couldn't turn this one around. Well, which Batman? Oh man, that goes into a whole other. Man, oh man, I tell you, Bear has been chomping at the bit for months on end to get to the day that we have here today. There are a lot of lessons. They have like 4. Let's see. They've got spoiler alerts, people out here. They've got Ben Affleck. They've got the Ben Affleck Batman. They've got the old Michael Keaton Batman. Good to see him still kicking there. They have old Twinkle Toes over there. What's his name? Oh gosh, the Twilight fella. Robert Patterson. A good actor, just terrible movie. So let's see, that's 3. Pardon me, spoiler alert, people. George Clooney, number 4, and then possibly like the whole Joker situation out there. Like there's got to be like a Batman in that movie universe as well, right? With Joaquin Phoenix. I mean, there's got to be. It's like having a jelly with no peanut butter. You know, peanut butter without any chocolate. I don't know. So at least 5 Batmans that Bear can think of here. So I don't know. It depends on which Batman we're talking about. Mario movie did better with only 3 days for a week. This is true. We'll get to that. They do talk about that here. In fact, let me just do that real quick. Let's jump back over here because this was from Friday. So they're doing estimates here. They're doing estimates. They were wrong. Shocking. Look at there. Ezra Miller was shocked. Shocked. Oh my God, they got it all wrong. They did. Let me go down to it here. This is from Thursday. Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. $252 million in 2 weeks. Pretty good. Transformers? Man, that doesn't... I mean, it did okay. But we'll see how far it drops off there. Little Mermaid, we've already talked about this. Man, oh man, this is dead in the water, so to speak. Guardians of the Galaxy, it looks like it'll do okay. But yeah, there you go, Spider-Man. Oh, wait a minute, no, we were talking about Mario, weren't we? Did they put Mario in here? I guess it fell out. It's probably still top 10, though. Still probably top 10. Probably 6 or 7. Bear would have to go look that. Let's see, does it say in here? Hold on 1 second, people. Now Bear's curious. Now they're still talking about demos and all that sort of stuff. Let's see. Sorry, people. Weekend outlook. Between $70 and $75 million. Nope, not even close. Not even close. Let's see. It doesn't say. I don't think it. No, it's just talking about Flash and the other one. But yes, probably Super Mario does pretty well as well. Anywho, there are a lot of lessons to be learned this weekend. That is true. Oh, they're talking about the Flash. But chief among them is what it's like for a major motion picture studio to open a movie with largely a number of its cast, primarily its main star, not available to new press. Okay, so first paragraph, they're saying, wait a minute, we projected $75 million, and it's probably going to be only $60 million. Here's why. And their first paragraph is, oh well, the main star just didn't do press for it. Like, really? That was the issue. Your main star didn't go on the Jimmy what's his face over there and yuck it up for 10 minutes or whatever. That Ezra Miller, he's just the best. That's the reason why it didn't do so well. Not because, the Flash is kind of a secondary character. They've had this in the can for the longest time and kept reshooting it, which we've got a great story coming up on that. It's not because of all the troubles that people have heard about this fella. generally, DC movies just aren't doing very well. We'll talk about that in just a minute. But no, Deadline says, they weren't doing the press. They didn't speak to us. They didn't speak to us in the press, so that's why. That's why it didn't do so well. That's the big looming question, which has been on everyone's minds in the wake of Ezra Miller's tabloid-ridden 2020 to 2022 in regards to Warner Brothers' $200 million The Flash. I love how they just jump straight over. Well, what was in those tabloids? Forget about it. We don't need to talk about that. Or if they do, they talk about him like stealing booze from one of his neighbors, and that's what it was all about. It's like, no, he kidnapped a girl. He pushed one in Hawaii and then punched another one in Iceland, or maybe it was the other way around. Bear forget. There's too many people Ezra Miller's assaulting. Bear just loses track here. The studio is still expecting they're holding desperately to Juneteenth holiday to deliver and get the film to $70 million over 4 days at 4,234 theaters. If that's the case, that's the first time the federal holiday, which has proven himself to be a big movie-going day yet, has yielded a daily gross for a movie north of $10 million. They talk about Jurassic World, only 8.6, so we'll see. We'll see. Other studios see the figures lower, given the $9.7 million in previews last night, which would have been Thursday? I think or maybe it was Friday. It looked like The Flash had the potential to over-deliver and beat its weekend estimates, which they guessed was $72 million. Not even close. Not even close. Let's see, where was I? Should the movie have gone straight to Warner's streaming service Max? They say absolutely not. They need to make as much money as they can, and that's through Windows. Maybe if they threw Ezra Miller through a plate glass window and put that on Max, that might draw some viewers. That might draw some pay-per-view viewers right there. Right through the window out of a 3-story building. There you go. Pretty good. With the SAG-after strike authorization in place, should talks go sideways and actors not permitted to do press in those situations, the studios, streamers, etc., may want to think twice before playing notorious hardball, as this is what happens when your cast isn't available to promote a major motion picture. Left out of that is a majority of those actors aren't accused of grooming a child, taking an underage child across state lines, having them in a house with automatic firearms on your pod farm. Most of those people don't have those problems. They might have other problems, but not that one. For Batman, exclaimed Jamie. For uno, dos, tres, cuatro. Flash has more Batman than Batman. This is true. That is true. That's why Bear says, like, okay, they're gonna come out with the new pardon me, six Batman. Okay, let's go through them. Okay, let's see. We've got Michael Keaton, George Clooney, Twinkle Toes, Ben Affleck, and now the possibly something Joker. We don't know. Let's just count at 5. Put Joker off to the side for a second. Then they've got the new James Gunn Batman that's going to be coming out. So 5 Batmans, possibly 6 Batmen. The Batmen out there. The Batmen. It's going to be confusing. Oh, hey, I'm going to go see the new Batman film. Well, which one? Oh, I don't know. The one with Batman in it. Yeah, no kidding. Which one? Oh, the one with, Oh, well, is that the Michael Keaton one? No, it's the George Clooney one. Oh, gosh, I thought it was the Twinkle Toes one. No. Twinkle Toes ain't coming out till next year. Oh, okay, all right. Well, maybe it's the James Gunn one? Whatever. Yes, half a dozen Batman. Holy, would you ever have considered the possibility 5, 6 different Batmen out there? That's like twice the amount of Spider-Men that were in the other movie. Let's see, Amy says, yeah, I feel like the show did better by not having that dude on talk shows. someone might have asked him questions. No, they wouldn't have asked him anything. Pardon me, they wouldn't have asked you're getting me confused. Thank you, Amy. No, Twinkle Toes Batman is Robert Patterson. God, I keep forgetting his name. They would, they them. They wouldn't have criticized freaking Ezra Miller. God, not during Pride Week of all weeks. Pardon me, Pride Month. Oh, for crying out loud! Thought it was over already. Anywho, moving on. Already, San Diego Comic-Con is in check with the unavailability of TV series creators. Warner's didn't lean on Miller's for the Flash's press tour. The star making his first Hollywood appearance post-legal troubles at the Monday night premiere of The Flash. Which he just basically gave a canned speech and then they ushered him away. Like, okay, here we go. It's like Hannibal Lecter. They just kind of wheeled him out, let him mumble a couple stuff, and then wheeled him back away. Hopefully he doesn't escape. Let's see. But the majority of the cast weren't available for the 360-degree press. We hear. Well, terrible. We know that the late-night shows going dark during the WGA strike also compounded Warner's woes. They just had no idea. I mean, the bunch of idiots out there. If they didn't know, if there weren't late-night talk show hosts to talk to people, to tell people what to go see and do, I mean, they would just, fall over their own tennis shoes. Crying out loud. Walt Keaton showed up at screenings for a Q&A in London and Paris, and Hold on, people. Tub Thump? What the hell is Tub Thumps? I'm looking this up. Looking this up, people. 1 second. Chumbawamba? Okay. Anywho. What wasn't Chumbawambing the movie on social? He was busy shooting Beetlejuice 2. They were shooting what? For Warner Brothers. Sasha Calais, who plays Supergirl, did do press down in Miami and Texas. Miami is a city and Texas is a state. Where was Ben Affleck? Probably at, what was it, Dunkin' Donuts? Isn't he at Dunkin' Donuts? A late-night TV show provides a fun, not to mention a controlled environment, where talent can sidestep any sticky conversations. Told you. That reason why many didn't sit down with the bulk of the press is so they didn't have to be on the hook for fielding uncomfortable questions about the leading star of the film. Again, why didn't they just recast him? If you're like just determined to put out this movie, it's like, okay, well, just recast the guy. Oh no, well, he has 2 starring roles in this. It's like, okay, well, you're gonna have to, do 2, for crying out loud. Oh, we can't do that. The Flash also didn't have an $80 million to $100 million plus promotional partner campaign like most of these tentpoles do, which is essential when it comes to cutting through the noise of summer and opening a movie to big numbers. Not really. Like on the Discovery networks, they've been promoting the hell out of this movie. I know it doesn't cost them that much, but it's not lack of promotion out there, believe me. But there's something else going on here with The Flash. A build by co-DC boss James Gunn back in January is probably one of the greatest superhero movies ever made. James Gunn would never lie to us. Never. Not James Gunn. No. And that's that. What? And that's that. And that's why, probably, movie goers disagree, giving it a B cinema score and 77% on the comma score out there. That buzz, coupled with the fact that The Flash is a very male-heavy and not pulling in as many women as Aquaman and Wonder Woman, is slowing down. Well, I think we can kind of figure out why women would go to Aquaman. I think we can kind of figure out that one. Wonder Woman as well? I think we can kind of figure out that one. The Flash? Why would you go see Ezra Miller? Why would you go see that pushover? Yeah, for crying out loud. Anyways, it goes on. Yada, yada, yada. Let's see. Did I miss anything? Yeah, they're not gonna announce Flash 2. A, because it's not gonna make any money. B, and again, this is why Beer was at the very last minute kind of promoting a lot of that stuff. It's like, yes, go see the movie, go check it out. Beer wanted it to do really well, just so they would have to bring back Ezra Miller. They would have to keep part of the Snyderverse still going, maybe with George Clooney out there. Instead, we've got Batman and the brave and the beautiful. The brave and the beautiful out there. Anyways, they go on, yada, yada, yada. Elemental, not doing well at all. Not doing well at all. We will get to Disney here in just a second. I'm trying to see if there was anything else. I didn't see Mario. I didn't see Mario in there, so there we are. Couldn't tell you on Mario. Amy says, no one on TV to tell me what to watch on a movie. Maybe I'll stay home and read a book, a comic, or standard. Or you can come right here to Bear's channel. Yes, indeed. And we do appreciate each and every one of you. Everybody out there, including the lurkers and the Russian bots. Oh, well, that's going to get in Bear's head. How dare you. I get knocked down, but I get up again. You're never going to keep me down. I was like, Chumbawamba, wasn't that a song? Or what was it, Tub Thumping? Is that what they were calling it? I'm like, what the hell? What's going on here? Tub Thumped. Tub Thumped. That's a new one on Beer. Had never seen that. Other than the song. I'm like, what the hell? Tub Thump? Okay. Women go see Aquaman, says Amy Lester, because women like the ocean. And dolphins. The movie has dolphins, right? Who doesn't love dolphins? Who doesn't love dolphins? No, here's one of the many reasons why The Flash is a flop. Is a definite flop. Going over here to the Hollywood Reporter. And Boris Kitt. There you go. Inside the Flash ending. By the way, spoiler alerts, people. That cameo secretly filmed 6 months ago. The DC film had 3 separate endings, each overseen by different Warner Brothers regimes, spanning Walter Hamda to James Gunn. That's why. By the way, the story contains spoilers. There you go. Hollywood secrets have become notoriously hard to keep, but Warner Brothers and the filmmakers of The Flash pulled off a doozy with the final moments of their DC film. After more than 25 years, one of the greatest Batmans ever to suit up, George Clooney, returned to the role of Bruce Wayne. By the way, George Clooney did a better job as Bruce Wayne than he did as Batman. Marking a remarkable change of heart for an actor who was unequivocally done with the role. It was also a secret that the studio was able to keep tight for close to 6 months. No, Bear figured that out like 2 months ago. It wasn't that hard. In a mic drop movie moment, one which left audiences howling. Howl! The Flash's final scenes show Barry Allen on the phone with Bruce Wayne. The phone call comes after a cinematic courthouse hearing, and Barry finally returning to his own Earth and timeline. Wayne pulls up to the courthouse in his car, and he gets out the assembled, in his car, and as he gets out, the assembled crowd part to reveal Wayne is played by Clooney, not the Ben Affleck version Barry expected. Clooney infamously played Bruce Wayne Batman in the filmmaker Joel Schumacher's Batman and Robin, the ill-fated 1997 movie considered one of the worst superhero films of all time. No, that would be The Batman. Batman and Robin is a better film than The Batman. I will fight anybody on that one. The actor has repudiated it over the years, with it being the most visible miss in his storied career? Really? George Clooney? Okay, we'll go with it. He told Howard Stern in late 2020 that it was physically painful to watch his work in the role. He said, "The truth of the matter is, I was bad in it." Akiva Goldsman, who's doing all of the Star Trek stuff now, thanks a lot. He wrote the screenplay, and it's a terrible screenplay, he'll tell you. I'm terrible in it. I'll tell you. Joel Schumacher, R.I.P., directed it, and he'd say, yeah, it didn't work. We all whiffed on that one. Clooney was known as a TV actor on the hit medical procedure when he was cast as Batman. It was to have been a defining moment for the actor to become a full-fledged movie star in a time when movie stars, not brands or IP, mattered. We need to get back to that time. I missed that time. I miss George Clooney as Batman, for crying out loud. Yes, I said it. Bear said it. Instead, the movie was the nail in the coffin for DC and Batman. A movie for years, with Batman finally returning to the big screen with 2005's Batman Begins. Clooney's return to Bruce Wayne, I love how they say Bruce Wayne and not Batman, was not years in the making. In fact, it was made within a few weeks, with some phone calls, 2 screenings of the movie, and a day and a half of shooting in January. Not that long. Or excuse me, half a day. My bad. It was also the 3rd ending crafted for the film, which director Andy Muschietti made it through 3, not 1, not 2, but 3 separate regimes at Warner's. I believe it was Warner's got spun off of, was it Time Warner? I think it was Time Warner. So Warner became its own thing. They were a studio for a little bit. They got bought up by AT&T. AT&T had them for a while, and then AT&T sold it to Discovery, the Discovery Network. So now it's Warner Brothers Discovery. 3 separate regimes. Holy cow. Holy cow. Well, it is about time, P-Money. We've all been waiting on you. We have all been waiting on you. Oh, we were talking about a Clooney Batman. He's out. Well, I'm so sorry. That was one of the greatest Batmans of all time, sir. Of all time. Amy asked, so did they release different endings to different theaters? That might be interesting. That might be it. No, they'll probably put it on the DVD or something like that. Shoot, do they still release movies and DVDs anymore? I think they just go straight to the streaming service. So go check it out on HBO Max or whatever when it comes out. Let's see. The Flash serves as a study of a movie that survived and evolved in a rapidly changing media landscape, facing the dictates of several sets of studio heads and a multi-billion-dollar acquisition. The Flash began life under the studio regime run by Toby Emmerich and his lieutenant, DC film bosses Walter Hamda. Most of the shooting and post-production was undertaken under that leadership. So the shooting, all of your CGI stuff, that's these guys right here. With the movie as part of Hamda's plans to have Flash build to a major reset of the entire DC cinematic universe. Departing from the one established by filmmaker Zack Snyder with Man of Steel over a decade ago. They thought it was too dark. Zack Snyder, issues with his life there, brought in, what was his name? Joss Whedon. Brought in Joss Whedon. Joss Whedon made it all funny. He's like, we gotta go with the funny aspect of it. So they kind of switching over there a little bit. So Hamda planned a Flash. So there's always a Flash sequel planned. And they wanted to move to a movie inspired by the 1980s classic comic event Crisis on Infinite Earths, which I think you got a little bit in here somewhere. I think you got a little bit of that in this movie here. But they were planning on doing something with that. So we all know what happened after that. Everybody there left. They brought in a whole new management team, completely messed everything up. The Flash, as it was originally conceived and shot, ended on the courthouse steps with Supergirl, played by Sasha Calle, and Batman, played by Michael Keaton, who already featured throughout the movie as a returned Batman. It was meant to highlight that Barry did not reset the timeline as he thought he did. It was an ending that was screen tested several times, one that revealed the deaths, spoiler alerts, people, of Supergirl and Batman earlier in the film. However, pardon me. However, the movie got caught in the lightning storm that was Discovery's acquisition of Warner Brothers in 2022. Emmerich and Hamdo were ousted. Warner Brothers, the Z-Man, was on the hunt for an executive to run DC. In the meantime, Michael DeLuca and Pamela Abdy were installed as Warner Brothers Picture Group chairperson and CEO, which they still are. I think they still are. They were tasked with overseeing DC in the meantime. And suddenly and certainly not unexpectedly, they had their own plans. So here's what their plans were. Who is Josh Whedon? Isn't he the guy who's been canceled? Yes, there you go. And yet, for some reason, they won't cancel Ezra Miller. There you go. This is true. Well, that's because Ezra is a they/them, and you can't do that during Pride Month, Pride season, I should say. A new Flash ending was conceived. This new version was still on the courthouse steps, but now Supergirl was joined by a Superman played by the actual Superman, Henry Cavill, and Wonder Woman played by Gal Gadot. Keaton also remained. DeLuca and Abdy believed they were being strategic with the ending. Cavill was going to cameo for the DC movie Black Adam. And was being teed up to return to the role in a brand new Superman movie. Supergirl was retained because even though they thought the executives were killing the development of a standalone Supergirl movie, and by the way, I've actually heard good things about her performance in there. So you were a little worried the whole girl boss situation there, but apparently she did really well. They were open for her to returning in some form, and didn't want the last image audience saw of her to be her death at the hands of a supervillain. Sorry, spoiler alert. Meanwhile, and by the way, this sounds like the best ending right here. This one, have Henry Cavill back. They had Wonder Woman, I think, in this movie, Gal Gadot. Bring in Keaton as well. That would have been pretty cool. Have all of them kind of come together, and that's your new sort of revamped, I guess, Justice League there. Kind of an older Batman, maybe training a young Batman or a young Robin there, or something like that. So the new ending, the second ending, actually sounded pretty decent and would have linked in with a number of movies. Black Adam for one. They were going to be doing. We had heard about a new Man of Steel 2 movie out there. I think Henry Cavill was ready to go, and I think everybody expected him to come back, and then this happened. Meanwhile, the studio was developing a third installment of Wonder Woman with filmmaker Patty Jenkins and star Gal Gadot. This was a nice way to keep Wonder Woman in the cultural conversation. And Gal Gadot was super hot, and we need more hot ladies in films. This ending was shot in September, involving Miller, Cavill, and Gadot, as well as Keaton and Calais. So there you go. Then came another lightning strike. In November, the Z-Man announced that filmmaker the Gun and the Saffron were to run DC Studios. So they were going to run DC Studios, but let's see, where were they up here? DeLuca and Abdy are basically still James Gunn's boss. So they're still in the studio system. They just went to do the entire Warner Brothers portfolio. DC's just a part of it. I won't say small part of it, but there you go. So they still could have had the ending that they kind of envisioned there. Let's see, the Saffron were to run DC Studios, overseeing all DC film and televised efforts, and suddenly and certainly, not unexpectedly, they had their own plans. Knowing they were resetting the DC universe under their own vision, Gunn and the Saffron saw that having Cavill and Gadot in the new ending was potentially promising something their plans were never going to deliver. One of the first actions the duo took was to scrap Henry Cavill's Superman film, and they parted ways with Jenkins, effectively killing the third Wonder Woman installment. Now think about that. What have we heard so far? Oh gosh, Patty Jenkins, that second movie didn't really do that well, so, we're not going to renew your contract just because, we got to part ways. You might be doing a Star Wars film as well, so, do that Star Wars film, and it never came to be. Go do that Star Wars film, and we'll figure it out maybe with another director, but still with Gal Gadot. No, they had every intention of getting rid of Gal Gadot and Henry Cavill just because they had their own idea of how to do things. They had everything set up for them. All they had to do was just kind of continue to go along with it. And they says, no, we want a younger Superman. Yeah, there you go. There you go. We're gonna keep Ezra Miller, but we're going to get rid of Henry Cavill and the beautiful Gal Gadot out there. Why? Why? Well, we know why. Oh yeah. P Money says, so they decided not to have the DC trilogy of Gal Gadot, Affleck, and Cavill, and instead went with Clooney. I have no words. There you go. Is it Batman Beyond Bruce Wayne, Maybe. I mean, again, it's in a different universe or multiverse or whatever the hell. I don't know. Let's see. So they don't have the George Clooney Batman, just the Bruce Wayne. Yeah, maybe he could. Maybe Bruce Wayne never became Batman. Maybe George Clooney's George Clooney's Bruce Wayne was kind of a stuck-up kid because his parents lived, so he never fought crime or anything like that. And so now we've got like our fourth or fifth Batman out there. But he's not Batman. He's just Bruce Wayne. He's not even Batman. He's like, Batman? What the hell is a Batman? Why would I want to put on a bunch of makeup and go out into the night? I have more fun going out into the night on my own as Bruce Wayne. What the hell? Hey. P Money asks a very, very important question here, or statement, I should say. I wonder if we should get a protest going like Justice League. We need the Snyder Cut Flash ending. Well, at least the Pamela Abdi and what was the other guy's name? DeLuca. Maybe the DeLuca ending. The Abby DeLuca ending out there, because that sounds really good. They had a really good plan. Superman with Henry Cavill, Wonder Woman with Gal Gadot, Michael Keaton as Batman, teaming up, starting up a brand new Justice League with Ezra Miller. If they wanted to, they could have just spent an extra half a year, got a different actor rather than Ezra Miller. They would have been good to go. They would have been golden. I don't think anybody has any complaints about Henry Cavill, Gal Gadot. I think people warmed up to Ben Affleck. I thought he did a good job in there. I thought the Batman Superman where he was fighting the bad guys in the warehouse there, that was a really good scene with him in there. So either or, hell, bring back George Clooney. I don't care. Any one of them. That would have been a good plan. That would have been a good plan right there. Instead, old James Gunn gets involved. This is kind of what happens when you have, pardon me, people. Pardon me. The comic book geeks out there to run everything. It's like, no, we'll take your input and advice. Hey, this is how this is how Superman acts and is motivated by this and that, and he's strong with this character, but a little weaker with this character. No, James Gunn comes in and says, we're going to scrap everything and we're going to go it my own way because I like him young. A young Superman, I meant. A young Superman. Yes, indeed. Anyway, where was I? The filmmakers, according to multiple people associated with the movie, then looked for alternatives, but wanted to keep the Germ of the idea, Barry Allen thinks it's alright, but then has the rug pulled out from the last moment. They went back to an idea joked about in an earlier filmmaking process. How many Batmans can we get? At least 5. Clooney was brought up as a long shot, but Gunn and Safran jumped on the notion. So, P-Money, George Clooney, that was Gunn's idea right there. There you go. The duo reached out to Clooney's agent at CAA. Oh, of course, the great Brian Laird, whatever the hell, showing him a cut of the mostly finished film. He liked it and then showed it to Clooney. Clooney liked it, and they agreed to be part of it. A shoot was quickly assembled, and on January... By the way, look how fast this is going. James Gunn came aboard in, like, early to mid-January, right? If Beer remembers correctly. So at the end of January, they're already shooting. They says, all right, we're going to scrap Cavill, and we're going to bring in George Clooney. The shoot was quickly assembled, and on January morning, the Warner's lot, Clooney was there as Wayne, not as Batman. Back for the first time in 26 years. Man, it's been, been a while. Also on the set was Miller making their first appearance on the lot since the fateful day in August when they met DeLuca and Abneby to discuss their controversial behavior, including multiple arrests, minor stuff. Minor issues. In step 4, I mean, it's not like he had, documents that needed to be returned to the National Archives or something like that. Something silly. Miller was in top form that day. Sources say, for what was described as a quick and efficient shoot, Clooney and Miller spent some time together and between takes with the veteran actor, having a talk with the younger actor, giving encouragement and advice about handling being in the public eye and behaving in public. Yeah, you weirdo, put on some pants instead of a dress, you freak. Warner kept the new ending tucked away as much as possible. The studio didn't even screen test it. And when it screened the movie at CinemaCon for theater owners and press in April, I think this is where a lot of they weren't leaks, because they screened it for people. Basically, it stopped short. So everybody's saying, oh yeah, he goes back to the thing and Batman steps out of the car, but they never got to see who Batman was. It just kind of cut it off there. The first time the new ending was seen by anyone other than the filmmakers was at screenings for the press the week of June 4th. What would that be? 10 days? 8 days before the movie's premiere on June 12th? Yeah, that's the first time anybody's... It's rare that you have a movie in post-production that faces not 1, not 2, but 3 separate regimes with 3 separate agendas, notes one insider. None of them were scrapped because of ill will and just visions. No, none of them were scrapped because of ill will, just different visions, whatever, one of the two. Both, I guess you could say. So they ask, why did the Flash? Why is it so convoluted? Right there, God. So they shot it. They shot it with the Hamda folks. Hamda and what was his name? Toby Emmerich here. So they shot it. They had most of the shooting and post production were undertaken. So most of it got done. They left. In came. They were ousted. DeLuca and Abney came up with hey, we were delivered some lemons, so let's make some lemonade out of it. Hey, we've got, The Rock in here, let's put him in there, let's get this Superman 2 movie going. We've kind of stumbled out of the blocks, but we've kind of figured out the way to do the DC stuff. And then they got overridden by the Z-Man. Z-Man brought in James Gunn and the Safran, and away they went. Oh, let's see. I need to get on the chat here. I apologize. Let's see. Yes, which cut Flash ending are we going to have there? That's a good question, Amy. She also says, so the reason they couldn't shelve Ezra Miller's Flash wasn't because they wanted a Flash movie. It was because they needed to recast their popular characters. No, I think they had a really good idea. Okay, so they had the problem. Here's your problem. You had Zack Snyder. He had doomy and gloomy DC characters. They get to the Justice League movie. Zack Snyder leaves for reasons. We all know why. Zack Snyder leaves. They bring in Josh Whedon. Josh Whedon did the Avenger movies for Marvel. Basically, they were copying the entire time Marvel. Hey, we need a superhero team up movie. Quick, we need a Justice League. Well, wait a minute. Where did the Flash come in? Where did Cyborg come in? Where did so and so come in? Don't worry about it. Let's just get the movie up there, up and running. Blah, 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 let's go. Okay, so they did that. All right, well, okay, now we brought in Josh Whedon. Josh Whedon had some issues. We had to get rid of him. Okay, well, we've got one or two of these other outlier movies. We got this Aquaman film. That did pretty well. Okay, let's try, let's try a, Superman 2 movie. Let's try, they tried Wonder Woman 2. Didn't do too well, but I think everybody appreciated the character. I think everybody appreciated Gal Gadot. They just didn't like the movie itself. It was a little too, girl boss type situation there. But they had the right pieces, in place. They had it right there. James Gunn came in and said, I'm going to do it my own way. I made Guardians of the Galaxy, so I know how to do everything. I know how to do it all. Look at me, I'm James Gunn. So he came in and just basically took the bathwater and threw the baby out with it. It's all gone, except for Ezra Miller. We got to keep him. Let's get rid of everything else. So one of the many, many reasons why the movie isn't doing too well is, okay, you've taken every reason why, they had it set up to do a Flash. But why am I apologize, people. Bear had Flash stuff right here they could have been showing the entire time. Why did they do that? Ego probably. Oh, somebody else did this. So we can't have anybody come. Zack Snyder brought in Ben Affleck. Zack Snyder brought in Henry Cavill. We can't have any more of that. We need to put our own stink on it. So that's why they get rid of everybody. But they didn't get rid of Ezra Miller. So now they're in kind of a hold because, okay, the Flash was supposed to reset everything, but they reset everything, but everything after the reset isn't going to happen. So what's the point of even watching this movie, because it's supposed to tie to stuff in the future which aren't going to happen? So it's like, okay, why would I invest my time in this? Unless you just like to see Batman for whatever reason. Oh, look, there's 70-year-old Batman. All right, let's check it out. So what was the reason for the movie? They didn't have a reason. So if you don't have a reason for the movie, go back and just recast Ezra Miller and write it so it does reset everything. This would be the movie that reset everything. Put it after Aquaman. Have everything reset. Or just have Ezra Miller die at the end of the movie. Boom, bango. He dies at the end of the movie. His body goes back and it resets everything. And boom, there you go. James Gunn's Superman steps out of the car or whatever. So there you go. There you would have it reset right there. But then they tried to do halfway one, halfway the other. So one of the things was if the Flash did really well, they were going to have to do a Flash 2. But the Flash 2 was going to be, what are they calling it? The Elseworlds, elsewhere, somewhere. So like the Joker, the whole Joker stuff. That's not part of James Gunn stuff. The Batman with Twinkle Toes out there. That's not part of the James Gunn sort of DC universe. That's on its own little Elseworlds place out there. So what the hell are they even doing, man? What is this even about? They had an idea for the movie. The original folks, they came in, they shot it, they did the movie that they decided to do. They got bought out. They got bought out by Discovery. New people came in. This is, okay, all right. Well, we've got these lemons. Let's try to turn it into lemonade. We still have Henry Cavill. Let's bring him in for the new Superman movie or whatever. They had a good idea. we might not have the best thing with The Flash here, but let's make it the best that we can make it. And then James Gunn comes in and just kicks everything over. Like, what? Why? What's the point? What's the hell? Finish out what you were gonna do and then start the James Gunn thing. Instead, it's like, why would anybody go want to watch Aquaman other than the ladies out there? But like, if you saw Aquaman 1, oh boy, I gotta go see Aquaman 2. Figure out what's going to go on. Well, nothing's going to go on. He's going to save the day. They're going to end on a cliffhanger, and who cares? There's never going to be another Aquaman with James Momoa in it. So, anywho. So, I'm sorry, Amy. That is a long answer to your question out there. Long answer. Beer sometimes goes on rants. Let's see. That kind of explains why they wouldn't hold on to it long enough to recast it. Again, they should have just, if they were going to do everything that they were going to do, go ahead and recast it, put the Flash after Aquaman, have everything reset. I mean, you've already sunk your money into it. If you're not just gonna axe it like they did Batgirl, just go ahead and recast it, because half of your problems are Ezra Miller. That's half of your problems right there. Ay, 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 ay. P Money says, from now on, I'm definitely pronouncing it Brian Lowart. Whatever, I don't care. He's not coming after Bear, doesn't matter to him. Also, don't kidnap people is good advice. It is. Very, very good advice. Elseworlds, Elsewhere, yes, James Gunn should call it Elsewhere Cinematic Universe. It is. It's somewhere else. It's somewhere else out there. It wasn't part of it. So if the Flash did do really well, it's not going to. If it did do really well, it did warrant a second film. Like they would have to put it in. So they would have to bring. They would have to bring back George Clooney, but now you're up to, what are we up to? Six or seven Batmans now, for crying out loud. Ay, ay, ay. Ay, 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 ay. The case of too many Batmans. Too many Batmans. Amy says, because they aren't recasting Aquaman, that release would give them some time to fix things. No, I think Jason Momoa, they've got the film, it's in the can. Old Amber Turd is in there, all that sort of stuff. So that movie's coming out. But why? Why would be the question, other than, hey, I'm a big Jason Momoa fan, let's go check it out. Nobody's gonna see it for Amber Turd, that's for sure. That's for sure. Somewhere elsewhere. Somewhere elsewhere. Alright, what else do I have? Let me see here. 1 second here. Let me see what I have. Anyways, that was, let me go back here. That was from THR. The good folks at THR. I tell you, people, we were going around the net here. We had THR, we had Deadline, we even got Variety here. Variety. For a variety. Ha ha. Anyways, they says, paces itself. Elemental, not doing that well. Not well at all. This just kind of compared it to some of the other ones. So, Flash debuting in the same weight class as Black Adam and Aquaman, which both opened to $67 million. Whoops-a-daisy. Aquaman found strong staying power through its holiday season release, finishing with $335 million in North America. And what, close to $1 billion total, if Bear remembers correctly. Last year's, is it last year? I thought it was this year. Oh yeah, whatever. Yeah, I guess it was at the end of last year. Dwayne the Rock Johnson, blah, 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 whatever. Vehicle fell lower on the hierarchy of power, ending with $168 million. Naturally, Warner Brothers would like The Flash, which was directed by Andy I forget how you pronounce this guy's name. Muschietti. It cost $200 million. So if we're going by just kind of guesstimates here, so let's just say Black Adam, since that's relatively close in time frame. Opened $67 million. Flash, starting out, $60 million. Let's see. Black Adam ended $168 million total, and that was considered. Black Adam was less production cost, and even $168 million basically, it made a little bit of money. It wasn't much, and it was hard to tell whether it was breaking even or it just eked out a little bit there. So if we're going by that, Black Adam, $7 million better than the Flash here. Petered out $168 million, barely turned a profit if it did. Flash costed $200 million, opened at $60 million. I doubt we might get 168. We might. Let's just say 200. Let's just say it makes it all the way to 200. That's not gonna be pretty good. Before a hefty promotional blitz. There you go. There you are. Let's see. Was there anything else in here? No, that was it. I just wanted to show that. Anyways, just as a way to, my way they call it same weight class, but kind of comparing apples to apples there. There we go. And grab a drink. Let's see. Pixar rather got mad when Disney put Turning Red onto Disney Plus, saying, "Do you know how much more money our movies will make in theaters?" And now, well, not so much. In fact, I had. Let's see. Did I have that? I think I have that. I think was it this one? Pardon me here. 1 second. $30 million. $30 million. Friday, 11.8. For day, they're saying maybe 33 for a freaking Pixar film. For a Pixar film, which could, like, print money. They could just, like, okay, we're going to make a Pixar film. Okay, all right, all we got to do is just, blah, 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 a Pixar film. Would have made $50 million easy. $500 million. 500. Easy. Easy peasy. Not so much. Not so much. Let's see. Amy says, when their movies were good, they did. I'm assuming they did really well. Well, speaking of Disney out here, we actually had this. Gosh, I don't know. Bear must have been one of the only persons. I was trying to look back with right before the show started here, trying to figure out. Okay, when was I talking about this lady? It was right around with Bob. Which one of the Bobs? Bob Chapek. Whenever he got fired, there was a rumor. I think it was on Bounding into Comics. There was a rumor about Bob Chapek out there talking about the streaming service that he had. Essentially, the rumor was Disney went to the SEC and basically lied about the number of viewers that they had on their streaming service, which is quite illegal. You can go to jail for that sort of stuff. So the rumor was the CFO, this lovely Karen-looking lady right there. Just look into those beautiful eyes there. Right into the blackness of her soul. Anyways, she was the CFO. Rumor went that she found out a bunch of the shenanigans that was going on, came up to the board, says, hey, we got some of this going on, might have some issues there with the SEC. So anyways, they got rid of Bob Chapek El Toronto. I mean, he was at like an Elton John concert. It's like, you're gonna fire me at an Elton John concert? Yes, we are. So that's when they brought in the other Bob right here. So, anywho, this lady, lovely lady here, saw herself abruptly exit of a long-tenured lieutenant. That would be CFO Christine McCarthy, a.k.a. Karen. I tell you what, that is if you ever had to look up Karen in the dictionary, that would be the face that you would see right there. Those dead eyes. You can always tell. You can always tell somebody with the fake smile. Like, okay, we know you don't smile very much when you really have to work those muscles just to be able to get that smile going. That looks like a... Alright, I've got the axe and I'm about to murder you look right there. About to murder you. Earnings call. Who is this? Hold on 1 second. Dade Hayes. Dade Hayes at deadline here. That is a cold smile. That is a cold smile. I guess some people just didn't photograph well. They probably took like 50 takes of that. That was the best one. Earnings call, those ritualized quarterly opportunities for public companies to convey the state of their financial affairs to Wall Street analysis and investors at large are two-handled affairs for the Walt Disney Company. Unlike other media companies, which stack their calls with 3 or more executives, weighing in on various aspects of the business, Disney has featured only the CEO and CFO for more than a decade. This focused approach, has helped enlarge the profile of the lovely lady, Karen there, who was promoted to CFO in 2015. The well-respected financial exec has articulated the strategy behind the company's many strategic moves, included massive M&A bets, preparations for the launch of Disney Plus, so she was the one behind that, dramatic adjustments, during the Wu Flu, and most recently, sizable cut costs and layoffs, as well as the removal of streaming program from Disney Plus and Hulu. Hello Willow out there. In August, when Disney next report earnings, the duo will see its first change in many years, after McCarthy abruptly stepped down on Thursday to take a family medical leave. She will stay on the payroll through. Come on, man, do some proofreading here. She'll stay on the payroll through mid-2024, serving as an advisor to help with the transition as a longtime company veteran Kevin Lansbury becomes the interim CFO. While the announcement came as a surprise to the people outside and inside the company, it was accompanied by the customary tossing of Semitic bouquets. CEO Bob Iger called McCarthy one of the most admired financial executives in America, and said her impact on the company during her 23-year run cannot be overstated. So I'm not going to even state it at all. No details about the medical leaves were given in the official announcement. Reports later emerged that Karen's husband had been ill, though it also appeared that no specific health-related incident prompted her to leave. Instead, the motivating factor appears to be, and this is where Bear is going to be an opinion on this, if she was the one handling the books, if she's the one handling the books for all this sort of stuff, and the former CEO allegedly lied to the SEC, one of the people that's going to be signing off on that lie to the SEC that would be going to jail would be Miss Karen here, Miss McCarthy out there. So that might be, if that rumor holds true, that might be very interesting. Very interesting. Basically, she was the one that was instrumental in getting rid of Bob Chapek. She was basically the leader of the revolt, the leader of the coup out there that got rid of Bob Chapek. So it's kind of interesting that the leader of the coup gets ousted herself out there. Ousted herself. McCarthy worked closely with 2 CEOs, Bob Iger and Bob Chapek. The latter took the top job in February. Okay, so February. Bob Chapek. Just as the pandemic was beginning its march around the globe. Thank you, China and the WHO. grinding Disney sports, theme parks, and theatrical movie operations to a halt. While Chapek earned high praise initially for keeping the company afloat, he had a tougher time once normalcy started to return. It ran into a fella called Ron DeSantis. McCarthy ended up flagging some of his decisions, including streaming subscriber targets she and others felt were unrealistically high. Now, if you listen to people like Doomcock out there, they're saying, "Oh, well, this is why this, uh, whole medical leave stuff is false. Because why would they fire her for, or fire him rather, I should say, for being unrealistically high for subscriber targets? Why would they do that? Why would they do that? They probably would if you were fudging the numbers, though. Let's see. By the fall of 2022, the board had dismissed Chapek and installed Iger. So they go on, blah, 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 blah. The sudden exit of McCarthy is a complication for Iger, who's under contract only until the ending of 2024. And she was basically put up there as one of the replacements, so that'll be interesting. Iger now has to select a key collaborator in the CFO role, while Lansbury is a seasoned 30-year-plus veteran and has been serving CFO rather for the Parks Division. The most urgent area for the company's financial stewards lie in its TV, film, and streaming operations. Well, luckily they've got a bunch of great movies and TV shows that they can put on their streaming oh, wait, no, they don't. No, they don't. Never mind. Well, at least they can put on Elemental. Oh, wait, no, Elementals is bombing. Never mind. Never mind. Anyways, that was that. A lot of hay was made over it, and I'm like, where were you people like a couple months ago when Bear was talking about this? Nobody was talking about this Karen-looking lady right there. I mean, like, oh, come on, why would we need to talk about other? Bear was like right there. He's like, hey, watch this lady and some of her moves. She might be the one following Bob Iger here. Nope, got cut. And, those rumors might have a little bit more legs to them. So much drama, it could be a movie itself. Yes, indeed. Same thing for Warner Brothers, for crying out loud. Ay. I'll read it, Peabody. This is Peabody's thoughts, and not Bear's. He says, I am taking medical leave. Is that the same as when a woman says, no, honey, I have a headache? No comment on that one, sir. Bear, it can't be China's fault. They told it wasn't their fault, and China would never lie. They just came out and said, yeah, it came out from the Wuhan laboratory. I had that on the last show. Gosh, hold on, let me find it here. 1 second. Now that P-Money's getting Bear's dander here. Oh gosh, no, I didn't save that. I will put it in the link after we get done with the show here. No, they actually came out, basically said, oh yeah, it was us. It came from the Wu Flu lab. Yeah. Or the Wuhan lab. It couldn't be called the Wu Flu lab there. Anyways, that's that. Amy says, speaking of the movie of Disney or the movie of Warner Brothers, I don't know who the hero would be. I don't know. We could just root. We could root against everybody. That's where Beer was during the Stanley Cup Finals. He's like, Florida, boo, Vegas, boo. I hope you both get in fights, and they did. They both got into fights. That was good. It is crazy. Peabody says, I agree that Amber Turd could play Christine McCarthy in the movie. That's true. She'd have to color her hair. Other than that, she's got those crazy eyes. Those crazy eyes. Look at those crazy eyes. Those are some crazy eyes, man. Bear can tell. Bear can tell. P-Money says, my youngest just asked, who are you talking to? I says, Bear. She says, cool. He's a good dude. That's right. Thank you. Thank you so much, P-Money. Bear is a cool dude. Well, speaking of which, Bear's gonna do you a solid, P-Money. You know, the last show, people are like, Bear, why are you talking politics? Bear, I talk politics for like a minute and a half in that entire video. Why are you talking politics, Bear? Why are you talking American politics, Bear? Well, you know what? You know what, people? Bear's gonna talk Canadian politics. That's right, P-Money. He's gonna help you out with your Toronto's mayor's race out there. Let's check it out. Let's check out this lovely video from this fella named Toby Heaps. Toby Heaps? Toby, we'll go with this. We'll go with it. Let's see. Let me do the thing. With the thing. There he goes. He's freaking rollerblading in the streets. Rollerblading in the streets there. Let me see. Is it showing up? There we go. Rollerblading away, baby. Rollerblading away. But it's not him. Bear isn't going to vote for this guy. Screw this guy. It's the dog. It's the dog in the background. He's just running as a human avatar for the dog. For the dog out there. Look there. Skating. He ran a presidential campaign. Good for him. And he created the global standard for business comp. Whatever. I don't care. Whatever. We're voting for the dog. I don't care what you say, Toby. We're voting for the dog on June 26th. Be there, people. Be there or be square. Be there or be square as he rollerblades through traffic in Ottawa. Pardon me, Toronto. I apologize. God, gonna get the letters now for crying out loud. Anywho, Toby Heaps for mayor. He says, hi, I'm Toby Heaps, and I'm running for mayor. No, you're not. I'm running because I want a kinder Toronto where everyone can thrive. Because we know Toronto is a hellscape with all those mean Canadians out there. A vibrant city where we have well-being, security, and opportunities to take care of ourselves and those we love, including Rough Dog. Right there. He's a good boy. I spent my career working with the largest corporations to change for the better to be more sustainable. The result is thriving people, companies, and workplaces. And that's the energy and vision I want my dog to bring to Toronto. I am working hard to earn your vote so we can build a kinder city together. Because we know... Where are we? Toronto? Toronto, yeah, we know Toronto is a terrible... I mean, it's even worse than New York City. Just how awful the people there are. He says, P.S., wondering why there's a dog involved in this campaign. It may sound strange to run for the highest office of North America's fourth largest city, alongside a dog. To be clear, I am the human candidate on the ballot, and Molly would be Toronto's first honorary dog mayor. There we go. But I always fought for the underdog, but a bump. I believe we make more compassionate decisions with animals in the room. This is true. This is true, people. Well, maybe not more compassionate, but there needs to be an animal in the room, people. An animal in the room. There you go, P-Money. So when you were voting, when was this? June 26th or whenever it was. In the next couple weeks, P-Money, make sure you vote for the Rough Dog. There you are. There you are. Bear doesn't get involved in too much Canadian politics. But when there's an animal running, you know where Bear's going to be standing. There you go. There you go. Doggo for Congress. I don't think we can do any worse. Don't think we can do any worse. Let's see. There is a reason, P Money says. I live 3 provinces away from Toronto. What the hell is a province? I have no idea. Let's see. Doggo is a good boy. You can still, even if you're whatever a province is, you can still vote. I mean, we did that here. We did that here in the presidential election. I mean, Bear voted for Joe Biden multiple times in many different states. I mean, it's legit, right? It should be legit in Canada. Should be legit up there. Yes, can I vote for the roller skates for mayor? Heck, roller skates for prime minister. Couldn't do much worse. Couldn't do much worse. Amy says, Bear is all for the political advancement of animals who can talk. That's right. Not very many of them. Me and the parrots. That's about it. That's about it. Doggo can probably talk, right? Maybe. Maybe. You gotta ask him to speak, though. And then you gotta give him a treat afterwards. Melissa says a province is kind of like a state, I think? Huh. I don't know. I'm gonna have to check your math on that one. I have to check your math on that one. Province. What the heck is a province, man? When you were alive, when you voted for Biden. No, Bear, he's a one-issue candidate, or one-issue voter out there, so when he says, we can do the mail-in voting, Bear was like, hey, I'm already at the mailbox, I'm already attacking the postman out there, so why the heck not? Bear is a one-issue voter out there. We gotta get rid of that, get rid of that pesky Second Amendment out there. Gotta fight fair, people. Gotta fight fair. Let's see. LOL, I want to start calling province a providence. Did I say it wrong? I said province, right? I mean, I know what she was saying there, but Bear corrected it. Bear corrected it with his brain muscle. Let's see. Well, I know you always go to get something to eat in the woods after a show, so you can go get a treat when you talk too. There we go. There we go. There we go. Well, it's probably gonna wrap it up. Wrap it up, anyways. I didn't want to. Do we want? I don't want to do. I don't want to do the Dodger story. Please don't let Bear do the freaking stinking Dodger story with nobody in the stands and the crazy dudes that dress up as nuns and for crying out loud. No, we're not gonna do that. We've had enough horrible looking people here for one show. Let's not do another. Don't worry, Melissa. Don't worry, Bear Goose. On a every show, multiple times a show. If Bear actually doesn't goof and does do a professional show, you better start questioning. Is that really Bear? Is that really Bear behind? Did his channel get taken over by somebody else? There's no way he can do this as a professional. We don't think Bear is a professional out there, for crying out loud. Anywho, there's the Flash. There he is. We'll see on Wednesday how well it does, but they even tried to extend it to like 4 days there. It's like, we'll see. We will see out there. Yes, indeed. All right, let me wrap it up here. Yeah, that's where Bear heard. There were more people outside the stadium protesting than there were inside the stadium watching it. You can see in the picture there. There's like hardly anybody there. Hardly anybody there. I says, hey, if you want to go do that, okay, fine. Why stay in L.A.? Why not take it international and go to, I don't know, Tehran or Riyadh or Kabul or something. I still have it here. Oh, I still have it. Where is it? Hold on 1 second. Here still has it. I tell you, sometimes Sometimes you keep stuff and you never know when you're going to use it. You never know when you're going to need to use it. Why is it not coming up? Did it not? Oh, I don't have it. I don't have it plugged in. Oh well. Anyways, I was going to do the Kabul thing with the pride flag, but I don't have it right up there. Anywho. Anyway, wanted to thank everybody out here. Including myself, including Bear who did a test. Of course, Amy and Melissa, we always appreciate you gals out here. P-Money as well, even though he's late, we'll let that slide. We will let that slide. Yes, indeed. And of all of our Russian bots and lurkers out there, we appreciate all of you as well. All of you as well. They might as well sell Bud Light at that event. I can't make the sales worse. Bottom bump. Well, anyways, on that note, people, Bear's gonna head back into the woods. So until next time, grrrr.